course. Okay, good. I'm okay. I need to share. Good morning, everybody. Hi, everyone. Good to see you, and thank you for coming. So, as usual, welcome. Thank you for your precious time. This is an important Saturday that you could spend time with your family. Instead, you spend time listening to three Sifu here trying to teach you about stock market. Hopefully, we will want to make sure the time that you well spend, the next 1.5 hours to 2 hours are well spent. So you have some takeaway value. I think time is most important. That is something that all of us eventually, we cannot do away with that. So I got some important information to share with you, and I also hope that you can share this video in your timeline in here while we're waiting for more people to come. Hello, everybody. Again, this is actually the part 2 of our talk. Last Wednesday, we had a big turnout in there. Again, thank you for those of you who is sharing. So we want to continue where we left off. We got a host of information and feedback from you guys saying that there's more that you can teach us, and also want to go to the next level in here. So this is as a result of your feedback. We want to do this talk, this part 2 of the 5G tech talk, because just the last 2 days after I did the talk, the market NASDAQ has also sell off. This is also something I really want to cover today. So to ensure the information that you have are up to date and you stay up to date, so you won't be, get caught or at least kalang kabut. I think the key question here is to make sure that you guys are not kalang kabut. Do I say this makes sense? If this makes sense, give me a thumbs up. My trainer and coach Arif is also with me today in here. They are standby ready to do the talk that I'm sharing in here with you. But more importantly is what we want to help you to see where the market is going to be going, and I think that's a really important too in here. So hello, hi Supeng. Wow, Supeng, you never miss one of our talk every day. I think you are also Sifu Supeng. Yeah, that's right. I mean, after you've been watching us, like you follow the Sifu, they play Kung Fu here. You also know what he is going to talk about. I think that's also key because a lot of our talk here is definitely free of charge. So India, thank you for coming, India. Hi, Belinda. And we're just gonna wait for a few more people before we're gonna start. So really appreciate if you can really share this in your timeline, and also more sharing will be much better to all of us. All right, thank you very much. So I'm just gonna do a bit of sharing on my side here, and it's a big group out there, to be frank with you. It's a really big group out there. And there are a lot of Sifu, which is actually better than me. But I like to talk about macroeconomics, but when it comes to volume spread analysis, that is our forte. And many of you who are the members, and as well as our Trade VSA premium members, as well as our coaches, do know about the real benefit of knowing the volume spread, something that we really want to share on this part in here. So today, 5G tech. Now, those of you who are listening for the first time, just type 1. If you are listening for the first time, do type 1 in there. So at least I do know that you are new And there is a whole set of precedents or steps that you need to take to learn about our methodology, to learn about the top-down approach, which is something I felt that many provider out there doesn't do a decent job. Either they are very good in technical analysis, or they're very good in fundamental. There are some good in FATA, FATA, but ours is VSA and value. Okay, so that's what we call a value momentum trading strategy, which we talked about it last week. If you have not, do check out that YouTube over there. Okay, is the volume okay? Can you hear now? Volume not strong enough. Let me check. Is the volume okay? I put a full volume on PC as it's soft because last time it tend to shout out a bit. Can. I will modify sikit sini a bit more on the gain side. This is a very good. How about that? Now will be louder, isn't it? Okay. Those of you who are listening for the first time, type 1 and good. We want to make sure it's like going to a movie. Correct. All right. So we want to make sure that when you watch any of my presentation, I want to make it a very good experience for you. I think that's one of the key things we really want to do, is to make the learning very experience. I think with the live FB and post-COVID, many of you are still stuck on at home, so we really want to do that. All right, we got a fair bit of people while the people are coming in, and do share that this on. Right, let's move on to what I want to talk in today. Okay, so we don't want to delay too much. Okay, so again, what we say here are disclaimer in case the regulator want to catch us. But I do always tell the regulators, we are doing a good job compared to the many other groups inside there, educating all the members and the public. You know, be aware of that. There is a lot of unscrupulous people who's out there to take your money. And those of you who've been following me, I've been doing this for the last 10 to 15 years. I went through the global financial crisis. I started back in '93, and I'm actually basically I'm an engineer. So for that matter, I'm giving you more from an outside approach, like an engineer for that one, so you can also learn that too. I think that's very important. Can you share your view on vaccine counter pharma? Chris, I think I talked about this already in the talk previously. Just go over and look at that. I think what more important, some of you are asking about the COVID. COVID, I talked about it 2 weeks ago. So today I'll talk about the 5G and the tech. I know some of you who comes in have a different portfolio. You want me to comment on that part. But I will give you 4 simple steps, okay? 4 simple steps that you want to know, okay? I think it's very important, this strategy that we talk about here, generally always been sector rotation. You buy what is in strength now. You don't buy what is popular. Keep that, write that down. You don't buy what is popular. Popular is all the rubber gloves, isn't it? People are talking about dual pharma. You want to buy that things are not popular, like the furniture, which we talk about it, and plantation stocks. It's hard to buy. I can tell you that, because no one is buying it, because you want to hear, you want to read, and you want to see all the things first before you buy, isn't it? So that's the nature of what we call an unskilled trader or investor when they first come in inside there. So but it's good to stay open. If you already have like Chris buying all those pharma and things like that, I want you to stay open to new ideas. I think that's important. So once your mind is shut, I think that's where you don't learn, and as a consequence, you lose just more than money. All right. I hope that point, sort of succeeded. I hope you get it right. All right. Okay. Let's move on to next. So welcome today, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the part 2 of our 5G tech booming sector. But this time, we're just going to talk shortly on the rubber glove and the healthcare to avoid, or maybe there's some opportunity lying now. Now, the thing is, there is a correction. Yesterday, I saw the Dow Jones fell by 700 points. When I got up this morning, I couldn't stay up to 6 o'clock. Old people like me, tabule, isn't it? So we found that the market managed to stay back up to about close to 159 points. But what's more important, this sell-off that we see on the Dow Jones, and the same as the KLSE. But KLSE is a different thing altogether, which I'll talk about it shortly, right? Is this a grab your opportunity now before they move higher? So there's 2 perspectives which I'll share with you today. One from the US perspective and one from the KLSE perspective. Continuing from on the Wednesday one. Then those of you who have not watched the Wednesday talk, I have it on the YouTube as well on the Facebook. So it's going to be continuation from there. It's all like part 1 and part 2. Did what I say this make sense? Okay, if this makes sense, then let's give me a thumbs up, okay? So, all right, if the pace is okay, if the pace is okay, just type 2, all right? So I'm not speeding and I don't overrun my sentence in here because I also going to get my coach as well as my trainer, Zac, who is will join us shortly, all right? Okay. So again, a little bit of promotion and a little bit of continuation education. If you are first time, those of you type 1, just join our Trade VSA Telegram chat room so you'll be informed all the news developments, some of the stocks, and some of the accolade and testimonial that we have from our members. So we stay updated with all this free information that you have. All right. And don't forget, as I said before, the part 1 of this 5G talk today is already archived in the YouTube. So we make sure you'll watch. We take pride in our quality of content that we give out, right? We don't sort of, say literally, we don't, we practically, almost teach you. So there was a good question that someone posed. He said, Martin, if you teach so much, you spend, created thousands and hundreds of hours of YouTube educational, very good quality content. What is that to teach in your masterclass? I said, friend, all right, what you're learning is just very small part in the public, because I find there are many disinformation information given out there, and they say, use this method, you make money, and so on and so forth. So I find that this disinformation is very harmful to many of you. When I started off as an investor, as an engineer, I also fall into the same thing. When people say I learn here, learn there, actually I found out many of those information. I attended and many courses. I spent close to about 30 to 40,000 ringgit to attend one, not until I found volume spread analysis and I settled on that one for the last 10 to 15 years. So I'm no different from you. So in the course of creating our content, I don't want you to fall into that same trap, that same thing that we do. And right now we are even contacting the universities in Nottingham, Monash, and Sunway to teach them about the right way of fundamental analysis and technical analysis, because I'm from Monash. And I find it also a disservice, which is, no one really teach them, especially when children comes out. And if you compare the US, in the case K11 or K12 education, things like this has already been taught. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, when people come out at the 30 or 40 years old, they only start to learn about investment. And then first thing they do, they buy those what we call smart money stocks, which is run by operator. And guess what? They lost money, right? Sounds familiar? If it sounds familiar, type 3. Okay, sounds familiar, you type 3. So at least I know. So this always been this issue that we find, and I don't want what happened to me and my coaches, right, happen to you. So for my coaches and my trainer, when they first come in, I want to teach them a proper grounding on the both fundamentals and technicals. So eventually, this is what we call a skill of life, just like a skill of becoming a better person, self-development, and think along that line. Again, everything here is all free completely. It's on the YouTube inside there. I talk about Kosan, Hatha Lega all this while, and I said this too. All right. Thank you for all your kind words. Okay. Okay, so, and of course, to support you, we have our SmartRobie, so you can download this from the website. Will definitely help you to train your thought, train you to have a system methodology, whether from fundamental, from news driven with a trading plan. And that's what the whole purpose of SmartRobie, to really train you to be there. Even as we approach Bursa, we felt that this is a good training tools for them and for you, their members, to learn this. Okay, of course, if you want to use it more regularly and it's totally free, do share this with your friends and put it in your Facebook timeline. There is what we call a personal referral code. You can always refer to it and paste that. You have your own personal code, and when they share on your tab menu under the wallet, you'll get 200 credits. So that's one thing great about it inside there. And also don't forget to follow me on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if you're first time, the breakfast show Money Talk with SmartRobie, where I show you how we use SmartRobie to cari makan. That's right. All right, so make sure you watch that, and your friends will benefit too. Okay, let's look at meanwhile. That's right. Now, meanwhile, we have the rubber glove, which I talk about how to avoid it. It has been going through this huge selling that we've seen, and I do get text messages from WhatsApp and Telegram. What's happening, rubber glove? Should we sell or not? That again, going back to what is your time frame? I also received a letter from one of our members saying that, no name mentioned. She said that she really want to learn about this, and she went through a whole set of things. More importantly, I asked herself, what is your goal? Of course, goal is to make money, isn't it? Right? But the point is, if your goal is to make money and you buy one stock and that stock you lost money, for example, you bought Harta Lega, let's say, for example, when the price earnings came out and they say that they're up 200%, you bought it and then you are down almost maybe 15%. So now you're not making money. So what do you do? All right. So your purpose is to make money, right? So the purpose, always say before going back to your goal is to become a better investor and a trader that continue to improve year in, year out. I think that's very important. Just like being a better engineer, being a better doctor, being a better lawyer, and it all falls in the same. You cannot become a trader or investor overnight. That's why a lot of people take shortcuts. They go for the tips, telegrams and all this, but there is just very short term. If you like the tips, there's nothing wrong with it. Just follow the premium alert. You buy, you get out at 3 days. But problem is, many people who cannot do that successfully long enough, unless they can be the very short time frame going in, going out. But they find that, look, I'm spending so much time buying and coming in, coming out every 3 days or so, but the returns does not consummate the effort that I put in. That's always been, because people tend to measure that. And that's what trading is all about. I mean, compared to working, if you go to work, at the end of the month, you should get gaji one, correct? Not? But as a trader, if that month, like now, you notice after I show you the chart, the market went down, what do you do? Tabli cari makan, isn't it? So that's why it's important. We always say, in here, we try to focus to more markets. So on an all run, year in, year out, you will make money. Treat investing and trading as a secondary income. If you do that as secondary income, you keep your day income, but you must continue what we call sharpen your saw. Okay, so what I say, this makes sense? Okay, and this is an example, which is why we said right now, Harta Lega right here presents an opportunity right now for you to buy, those of you who wanted to buy Harta. Again, going back to your trading strategy, to your overall ultimate goal, what do you want to do? All right, because some people say, I want to buy these stocks because of some seafood, or some person say, or I don't know what to do. So what I always tell people, what you can do at the early start, pick the right seafood and learn from them. So make sure the seafood that you learn has show you the methodology and show you the method, how he's doing it, and not the one that flash out the Lamborghini car or they go for yacht holiday. I think that is okay if you want to follow the lifestyle, right? But today we want to follow the skill and the mind, how the person think, because the Lamborghini and all those to me are very material driven. No doubt, all of us, that's how I got into the stock market. When one guy said, oh, see how much I make, I drive a Porsche, I make this overnight in the stock market. That's very, very very shallow. I think we are more than that. If you've been following me, all my talks in YouTube together with my coaches, we are very deep. We give very good quality content, very deep in, where you all will really benefit at the end of it. So going back to the same Harta, sorry, I tend to sidetrack a bit, too much of a life philosophy. Yeah, 7 habits. I'm a big believer of 7 habits. Sharpen the saw, first thing first. Start off with the end in mind, stay win-win. I can quote 7 of them. I've been trained in the 7 habits those days. So I still use this on all my coaches. So good. It's a very good book to read. Those of you who don't know what 7 habit is, just go on and just Google 7 habits. There's a lot of quote out there. So going back to Harta Lega again. So Harta Lega, if you are investing in the longer term, I think Harta Lega does present an opportunity, but look at the chart setup, which I'm going to talk about it later. Okay, right now, you can see in summary with the healthcare that we have, right? And this is on Star Business today. The number of new company that is coming in, the new glove venture, it's getting a lot. You can see AT, Systematic, Green Ocean, Vision, MYSCM, Iconic, GPA, Carax, and they're talking about spending a lot of money in here, at least more than 100 million in there. And like it or not, if you're public listed, you decided to go to this business, I'm sure you will make money, to be frank with it. All right. So that's what the stated is. So in short, as a value investor, you might think of it, the ecosystem for glove is overcrowding. But if you do want to buy, and I do recommend, I still have Harta, no doubt, but I've taken some profit already. All right, you go for the quality rubber glove for the longer play on pullback right now. So we have a pullback, and this is a good opportunity. Again, going back to how much capital that you have. If your capital is only like 5,000 or 10,000, you don't want to buy Hatal Hega. You want to have a different strategy. So some of the question, the person who asked me that question, members, I always go back to the capital. How much capital do you have? Because in a part of your career, you will start off with a very small amount. Maybe you start off with 10K, 15K. As you progress, like me, I'm doing about 60 million together with my client money. So the strategy will be quite different. All right. So very important. It has to fit your behavior, your lifestyle too, and it will take you some time. And that only come if you go under a coaching or mentoring to sort of see what you want to do. All right. I think that's really important too. No doubt, there's a lot of seafood out there. I'm not advocating that you should adopt us. You can find some seafood who can really teach you for free, and spend the entire 1 year going through with it. I'm happy for that one, for that one, or someone who out there to look up for you, for the best interest. Most important, the best interest for you, not someone who drink, and when he talks, the kind of thing. I think also respect the members who is watching inside there is quite important too. So right now on the star business inside here, this is overcrowding. So do take note, but it also give you an opportunity. Of course, you will ask me second tier rubber glove good or not. There are many of them, Comfort and Kelly, but the quality, because we're talking about longer term about that. So that's what I'm going to touch base on it. And the next slide I'll talk about is where we trade as a user that we all have, right? Have what we call sector rotation, which is quite important too. So if you look at sector rotation, the utilities, the telemedia. So let me just bring up my my mouse here, right here. Okay. So if you look at my laser pointer here, you can see right now the technology is hot. But remember, we have a pullback this week. In US, we saw yesterday Apple sell off like 5%, and last night it sell off and then close back up. Sell off 8%. I was watching, I said, oh, today how to give talk. The NASDAQ all sell down. But this morning when I got up, it has a spring. So that is presenting an opportunity. Seafood, what do you think of ice cream growth proposal? Now, Chris, I don't look at overall too much of the bonus issue. To me, it's just a waste of time, to be frank with you, right? The reason why is that I look for opportunity in different sectors, right? Because glove is overplayed. That's the problem with fundamental. Fundamental, when you look at it, you look all the little small details inside, especially if you are trained as an accountant, and that's also one of the problems. But what we do, we are broad-based. We see where the opportunity is. Well, I'm just giving you an idea. For example, we see where the fishes are. If this pond no more fish, we go to the next pond. So that's why we have pond called technology, we have pond called utility, we have pond called telemedia, we have pond called plantation. And we don't look at so much of the bonus issue. We see the fundamental is good enough. That's why we look at the FA ratings. Then we look at the chart setup. That's how we do it. And that way you can sort of skip through it and able to not get caught into one of those when they start going to deeper. If you want to go any deeper, you even attend some of the AGM too, which I used to do that. You go attend the AGM, and then you got this guy shouting inside here, why you get stop split, or why you do reverse stock split, and you start to question all that. That is the old traditional way, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to do it, you can go so. But you tend to fall in love with the stocks. So we don't. We go by rotational, and that's how quantitative value momentum is all about, which is a very new term. We call it quantitative value momentum, or in short, we call it value momentum trading. We move with what is in the momentum, we rotate in and out, okay? Tech sector PE is very high. Of course, it's very high. My friend, it's been growing for the last 5 years. Good things don't come cheap. Cheap things don't come good, isn't it? Right? When I bought Apple, it was like 25 PE. It's gone up to 45. But right now, there is an opportunity to buy on a pullback. That's why also I said before, right, if you follow my Wednesday talk, tech stocks has always been overpriced. You can't use valuation model for when you value the tech stocks. Correct. So you have to use you have to say that, look, it's okay, it's overpriced, we go on a chart basis, right? And that is why if you are value investing in a traditional sense, there's nothing to buy here today, except you got to buy banking stock. So banking stock is good, right? Guru say avoid all glove stock. Not all lah. If you still like glove, there is still some opportunity like Hatalega, go in and buy. Longer run is still okay. It depends on your sector and your portfolio play. Now, if you're just doing purely trading, right, you just ignore all the fundamentals, just go right now, you can see technology, go and hit technology, trade in, and then you get out. All right. So this is important. It's something that we teach in our masterclass. And this is a mentoring. A lot of you have very good questions. You all know the right strategy, but you just don't know how to piece 1 and 2 and 3 together, which I'll show you one of the simple steps afterward. 4 steps only, right? Write down the slide inside. Just let me get on to it. I just have too many things to talk about. Do you like what I'm saying? I hope you're enjoying this too. Okay, if you're enjoying it, give me another thumbs up. All right. So, okay, now this is the patent our company, which is we are very proud of. Our Trade USA buy and sell signal in here. So if you look at this chart, yesterday we closed 1515.86. We did sort of go to below 1500. So I don't think we will break down to 150, but definitely if you notice this, the red pentagon was out and it was correctly timed on the 16th of July. Okay, that's why we rely on indicator chart to tell us we are still the driver at the end of the day, no doubt about it. But the pentagon is like your waist. It will tell you when to turn left, when you turn right. It's only up to you whether you want to follow or don't follow. So those are SmartRobie, you get this for free. You can hit the KLSE inside there. GCB search, any positive news? I can't find it. Now, Chris, GDB, don't look at news. Okay, that's the old method. Stock will move up first one. You think they will tell you on the news. After move out, the news come out, sell. Don't be the old way. I think you're very new, isn't it, Chris? All right. If you've been following me, you all know this one all is used to manipulate the public. So that's why we look at charts. Okay. I hope at least you learned something today. So you can see this pentagon is out and correctly timed from the high of 1618. So you look at here on this chart that you see right now, right below you, it is going down. Yes, it's going down. So that's why the main index is going down. You can stay out or you can go to something that is moving right now. We are talking is 5G. That's right. So 5G is the topic that we are talking about. So you can see right down below there, it is definitely 5G. All right. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting this. Okay, yep. So if you look at that, first question is that I missed out the rally in 2020 market rally. Okay, so from some of you who missed out the rally in 2020, can you get back in? The sell-off in technology, I'm so worried right now. Will it sell off? There's always going to be worry, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why it's important. And you can go on and listen to all the seafood they will tell you. Some say I can buy, some say cannot buy, some say can buy, some say buy. But you all eventually you need to settle on a decision. I think that's very important. That's why I cannot emphasize more and more again that you need to skill yourself up. You can watch all seafood, combine whatever you find, and then you settle on something you find that really fits you inside there. So this is the same things as some of the PE issues that you talk about. Over so high, how to buy, isn't it? Right? So then this is the question. Question 1, should we invest at all-time high? PE is so expensive. Is this the peak? And remember, one of the answers we talk about here is the ability to distinguish the economy from the index. In this case, I'm referring to the S&P 500. Okay, the S&P 500, that's the one we are talking about in here, because in perspective of the technology stocks or the 500 index, again, some of you don't know what is S&P 500. I usually cover that in the later course, okay? But just try to keep up with me, okay? So you kind of want to worry in here. So let's look at the chart, which I talked about last week. I just want to refresh because this is very important. Now, if you look from there, in the coronavirus that you can see, it has one of the fastest recovery, the speed that it dropped. Remember earlier on April, some of you said, oh, I missed out the April. I didn't buy. I was very fearful. And the thing just spring back up, right? In almost a period of 4 months or 5 months, depending where you count it, March or April, it recovered almost 95.8%. Financial crisis, also same thing. So it's like what I talk about it when I say you drop the ball from first floor, it went just a rubber ball, it drops and then it hits back up again. That's what it actually happened. Then from then onwards, the market will move way on it. On the next theme, right now, it's going to be the COVID-19 vaccine plus the US election, which is going to hit on the November 3rd. So there's a lot of recovery, and a lot of analysts and economists did not anticipate that this economy recover fast. If you look back to SARS, is any indication, which on next 2 slides I'll talk about you. Normally, when you see this kind of crisis induced by disease tend to have very, very fast recovery, right? So you can look back as you progress on after almost 3 to 4 years, the natural causes of economic cause and effect will take over. So from here onwards, if you go to 2021, post-COVID, assuming the vaccine, team, everything, we just move on, then the new what we call economic will take over. Then we talk about thematic like the 5G and the IoT, which I'm going to go and talk about it. So is this making sense to you all? What I've talked about in here is not too technical, isn't it? Right? So right now, the final point I want to talk about is that the S&P 500 right now, okay, is entering a new bull market. Okay, it's entering a new bull market, but there will be correction, and this is one of the first few that we will see this sell-off in here. Our KLCI, yes, it may go through a correction, but remember, right, we have the election, possible election coming up for the PN in there, so this market will be volatile, but I don't think our market will break below 1500. I did say it cannot, if it broke through 1540, it's going to go down, right, broke through 1500, because I don't see anything in the immediate 3 to 6 months that it was going to tell you more. Right now, it's because of the sentiment of the retail participation that we see in Malaysia. Many of our retail participation and retailer, because of the loan moratorium, they are moving out from the market and they're looking for somewhere else. So a better play will be the US market. Again, going back to your capital, how much money do you have? If you have a very small capital, stay on the Malaysian market, because by buying today, some of the stocks I will talk about, the 5G tech, you can have also a play on the S&P 500. Do I say this makes sense? If I say this makes sense, please type S&P 500. Meaning you buy those 5G tech stocks that I will talk about. It will tie to the US market. Okay. Almost all analysts were wrong, not predicting a V recovery. I actually predicted a W recovery. I didn't predict a V. It was very fast, right? But who knows? This coming down may form a W. A W is better because a V recovery is not. Okay. If I buy tomorrow, I will buy if blue chip correction. Blue chips now all die actually. You talk about KLCI blue chip suma mati, you know. Yeah, later I got one slide that show you that one. Okay, let's go. So you understand that point. Okay, now let's talk about this next slide about the market recovery. If you have not seen it yet, very important. The minus 39% and the 50. Now the COVID when it fell by minus 39%. That's right. It fell by 39% inside. And when it recovered plus 59. So that's why it almost recovered back to the old high. So right now we hitting the old high for the Dow Jones, very close to it. 30,000, it hit to 29,100. That's why we're seeing a resistant pullback, which is normal because you're forming a double top. So, but it does hit the old high. So corrections is welcome. So why this is good? Because if the price don't go down, how am I going to buy? I'm waiting to buy my Apple. I'm waiting to buy my tech stocks also, right? For this moment. No doubt, Apple is going to be expensive. So what does it lead to? Basically, lead to chart setup and chart timing. So are you there for the chart setup? Have you learned those skills? Ask yourself. All right. If not, continue to watch on. So in here, so what is all this about 5G and the craze? So even globally right now, this is the part 2 from when we left off. So have you bought any Tesla stock? Tesla has a big sell-off and it has gone through a bear market right now because 20% from the old high is this situation. So Tesla is a buying opportunity. Of course, some of you are saying Tesla so expensive. Apple has become cheaper from 500 and I think 520, 530. It has a 1-to-4 split on 31st of August. Same time with Tesla. And right now it's about $118 there. Okay, but like what Tim Cook said, he lost billions of in market cap in the last 2 days. So buy Apple. Is it buy Apple or not? Okay. Blue chip is only for long term. Now, but problem is blue chip for long term. That's true. That depending on your personality. All right. Some blue chip, like you buy Astro, also die. You know? You buy Maybank, also die. So because the banks going forward, it's not on a low interest regime. Well, blue chip, I think it works in the 90s, but nowadays, wow, I tell you what, the value investing time frame has changed a lot. Again, some of those things I will talk in the masterclass. Okay, now if you look at it, why this is such a big thing, since April 2020, many of these stocks have moved up, the Tesla, the Apple, and the Zoom, right? They've gone up by triple-digit return. So go by triple digit return, this correction that you see, you expect to see double digit correction, all right? Go up triple digit, right? 3 digit, come down 2 digit, okay, well, but go up 3 digit, come down 3 digit, wow, die when like that. All right. Yeah, Tesla PE. So you can't trade Tesla. Sorry, you can't invest in Tesla. You have to trade. Anything that is overvalued, you have to use charts to trade. So that's why the KLSE, 5G, and tech will also rally too, right? Now, there's 3 or 4 more ways to play the 5G in here. The chip makers, the mobile devices, and the IoT, right, for the 5G. So here I talk about those counters way back in 21st January. And the tech sectors, like it or not, has gone up by 100% in here. Inari 100% in 5 months. Penta very similar, the same time frame, and also JF Tech in 217 in 5 months too. So those guys. So this next question you're gonna ask, can buy now, Sifu? All right. Again, I'm gonna go back to the same thing, chart pattern, right? We are seeing a new wave. Remember, valuation is expensive right now is because we are not looking at the forward PE, we're still looking at the current PE, but the forward PE is going to be very, very muddy. It's not clear. If it's clear, everybody know about it. Everybody will be buying, isn't it? You need to buy on a little bit of uncertainty. Is tech value highly overvalued? The answer is definitely yes, right? So if you look at on 21st of January, what I talk about, right? In here, I talk about Penta, okay? At that time was $3. Right now it's $4.85. Then I talk about JF Tech, 159. That time now it's $4.25, and also Inari at 236. At that time, I have no crystal or what we call magic mirror to look in the future. I'll just look at the purely from a trend wise and also on the growth of the IoT and the 5G. I think look at the part 1 of my presentation when I talk about all the trends inside. Here it's just more on drilling deeper and to the sector and what we want to do there. All right. So that was back in 21st of January, my presentation in here. And the reason behind it, when I look at it, was all chart set up, looking at the fundamental Penta. You could see, has a, we have the Robie or they have a back testing history inside there. So you can see Penta here that has a 71% accuracy. And it looks back last seven trades inside Robie. In here you could see JF Tech, as well as Inari, which is going down on the orange trend. You just wait for the green pentagon and then you go and buy them. All right. So which means you select the right stock, use the timing. And when Coach Arif is going to come in and talk about that one too. So let's look at the 5G sector. Okay. Okay, this is the 5G. There was a sell-off NASDAQ this week, 4th of September. How do I wheel it? This is a very nervous person inside here. So let's look at from the boom and the bust of the tech sectors from a market structure standpoint. Okay. Now for a start, there is always stage 1 accumulation, stage 2 markup, stage 3 distribution, and stage 4 markdown. Now let me ask you all the questions. Where are we now for the S&P 500? Are we in markup, accumulation, or distribution? Type it in there while I get a sip of water. Do I trade or invest in 5G stock? I generally invest in the 5G stocks. Okay, I bought Inari for many years. Which one do you think? Our S&P in 500. Okay. Now some of you may wonder, Martin, why are you talking about this S1, S2, S3, S4? I really don't know. I'm scratching my head. Okay, next slide. I'll explain. Right? Okay, good. So understanding the VSA market structure is important. How the market boosts. So the key, like you can see this person in here, is understanding that the boom and the bust is important. Now, if you look at it, we have different market stages. Stage 1, okay, where we have the accumulation. Usually this happen when the market drop, when the process of buying control. Now, we did have a accumulation stage, very short one, only for 2 weeks. I say in somewhere in early end March, early April, then zoom, the market went up already. All right. Then we have the markup. The markup is a bullish phase, which many of you type in. Some say stage 3, some say stage 4. Okay, where we have this higher and higher, where the rally is innocent until proven guilty, isn't it? That's what we're talking about. Some people say now it's a stage 3. So the skill of reading these market stages varies among everybody. And it's very common. Many of our members and the public, we ask the coaches and the Sifu, what are the market stages? Again, it depends on your viewpoint everyone is different, and we accept everyone's opinion. Okay, but some of you did say stage 2, some of you stage 3. Depends on, again, going back to how much time you spend in the market, and sometimes we may get it wrong. Okay, then we have the distribution stage, which is the stage 3. Some of you talk about the distribution stage. In KLSE, we do see distribution. I do agree. We have seen distribution stage inside here. And are we in the process of going to stage 4, which is the decline stage for the KLCI? Right now, you saw, right, the KLCI, if you have your phone here, all right, you can type it in, and you can check it out. You can see, let me just show you here. Let me turn it on here. All right, I'm just going to get my Robie up and running. Okay, I'm going to log into my Robie here. Okay, so this is the Robie. So I'm going to show you the chart from here standpoint. I changed to a new phone. Going to get change to a Samsung Note 2. Sorry, Note 20. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and hit that one. Going to hit the KLCI charts. So you can see from here onwards, this is. Hang on, okay. So you can see from the chart here, it's very similar to the one that we had. So it is going through a likelihood going from a stage 3 to a stage 4. But that's why we want to look at the father. The father in this case is the 5G tech. But again, the technology stocks we have seen, right? They are not doing the same thing. The 5G, look at most of them are going. So let's look at the 1990 to year 2020 for the S&P 500 for the market structure. We have to look at the overall time frame here. So you can see here the S&P 500, because we want to use the stack as a barometer for our market. Okay. The 1990s to 2003, and take a snapshot of this if you want to. So it's important to clarify that we have the blue is what we call stage 1 accumulation, stage 2 markup and distribution, and then we have stage 4, the decline. You can see that that is really why we apply the volume spread analysis inside here. All right, so this is fairly simple. We just need to draw your lines in here. Let's move on to 2003 to 2009. So the 2002, 2003, the market declined due to the global financial crisis. We've seen here, right? At this point, we have the major decline here. This is where, you know, the market just saw distribution in here. This is why a lot of people are saying for the KLCI here, it's happening right now, the distribution, which is correct. Many of you have, right? Should support iPhone. Martin should support Apple. Actually, Johnny did say, right, you know, I love Apple share, but I don't like Apple phone. But my family member, my other half, all use Apple. Guess what? I have to buy Apple for them. For me, I have my Samsung Note. Where's my Samsung Note? I think I left it on the other side. Okay. I still have my Huawei here. Okay. So it's kind of irony. I live in the Apple world, but you got to admit, Apple ecosystem is just great. How many of you are Apple phone user? Just type Apple, you're Apple phone user, or you use iPad also. Just type it in there. So at least I know. Okay. So again, going back to stage 3, you can see right here, this is a KLCI. So you see this stage 3 here, distribution in here. And I do agree many of you in, but taking a cue from the overall big brother, the Taiko, right, the US S&P 500, or you can use the Dow Jones, whichever the case is, it is not going down, it's going up. Okay, so that is why a lot, which I talk about the Teslas, and you have the Inaris, you have the Penta, which I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, so let's move on. So we've seen the 2002 to 2009, the global financial crisis. Let's move on to the next time frame that we have here, right? The tech stocks right now, right? This girl is asking, is it declining or is it accumulating? What do you think? The tech stock, is it declining or accumulating? Can you type it in there? All right, the tech stock, is it declining or accumulating? We'll have some fun. I want to get your feedback too. Right now at this time frame, because we have shown you the 1990 to 2000. I've shown you 2000 to 2010, and 2010 to 2020. What do you think? Just type it in there. Many at least given up on predicting Nasdaq, so it can be, yeah, that's pretty true too. So you look at 2008, you have 2009 in here, right? This now this is from 2009 right all the way. We have almost a 10-year boom. Remember the earlier slide, the COVID. So this was the big COVID drop, right? This was that COVID drop, right? To this period in here, we felt that was going up, but when you saw this big drop, we have the confirmation of the decline. That's right. It's no longer a correction, but it's a decline. So right now, the S&P 500, 2019 to 2020, we zoom into the last 2 years. So many of you saying are declining, some zoom to the moon declining. You can see here, right? We have stage 3. That's where we came from. The COVID-19 was here, right? The big COVID-19, big drop. And this was a post-COVID-19 recovery, the green one, right? So we will have a markup. That's right. We will have a markup of stage 2. Okay. Listen carefully. If we break above the 3,500. So right now, the market is hitting resistance because someone is saying, look, hey, the market shouldn't recover so fast, right? We need to, you can see here, the resistance, right? It hits it double top. Someone thought it went through and then we have a sell-off, which is normal in any process that we've seen, right? If you have done technicals, okay? We cannot break the old high, not until we have some conviction. The market need to congest, do a bit of correction. We need to look at the volume. You can see here volumes are very low, which is okay. The volume here is not strong enough to break, but you can see the volume right at the low there, right? You can see very heavy volume. That's why we talk about volume spread analysis, which is something my Sifu Tom Williams and Bill Wilmine have taught me. And also there are other Sifu who taught me fundamental. We have combined that. So successfully breaking 3,005, you'll see a markup. So right now, what we're seeing in this post-COVID is stage 1. How many of you agreed with me? If you agreed with me, stage 1. Good question. SmartRobie in future can analyze US stock. The quick answer, yes. We are bringing, there was a lot of requests for SmartRobie for US. So we hopefully to bring it up by first quarter 2021. So myself and my team also very busy because I felt that our Malaysian market is very singly minded, which means only tech sectors and a little bit of rubber glove will do well in 2021. A lot of sectors won't do well because this is the post-COVID 2020, the new normal. Remember, we talk about it, right? And some of you have seen my video, I talk about it. It's quite different from what we have seen. So some sectors will do well, some sectors will not. I do believe like travel and leisure won't recover until 2022. It will be some time. Of course, if you are a longer time frame, then they'll be okay, great, you guys have got it, right? So you can see you all agreed to this market stages in here. That's why I want to make it very simple, very clear to you guys so you all understand what we're talking about here. Okay, so understanding the VSA market structure is key, right? So what am I saying based on the market? Okay, so for start, number 2, point number 1 is that based on the current accumulating, what are you saying? The S&P 500 sell off right now that we see is an opportunity to buy as sooner as the market will eventually move up to stage 2 markup. That's right. So this correction is it. So very important. Learn the Pentagon rate buy and sell signal in here. Now we have a sell signal, right? So this thing is going to come back to a pullback level or to a green Pentagon, and you have time right now to review all the material. Spend the time now just playing with SmartRobie. I know many of you ask for US one. We are getting it up, but it also takes us time to, and we need money to build this kind of technology. It's not cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So we need all the support that you guys have. Some of you who want to can upgrade yourself and come and attend our masterclass or top up on the SmartRobie. So just a little small appreciation. Thank you very much. Okay, if you think we're doing a good job, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so that's why we say you have time to learn. Very important. Give yourself time to learn, because once we go through that 3,500 level, we will be in a new ball game. But I don't think that's going to happen any sooner until November 3rd, the US elections. Okay. Okay, hopefully got NASDAQ and NYSE too. We will release them in stages. Okay. So the mobility and tech evolution, let's go back to the 5G. We just talked about technical. It's not going to end. Right? How many think it's going to end at 5G? If you end at 5G, just type 6G so I know. Just type up 6G there, okay? Do you think the tech evolution will end at the 5G? No, isn't it? So if you think it's going to go forward, just type 6G. Then at least I know you guys are thinking. One of the reasons why, if you look at this, you can see the senior citizen, this is a picture of them. They are going into it. You know, they doing this COVID lockdown. Many of them are getting into Lazada and Shopee, and you can see Shopee and Lazada stock price just went through the roof, and they're ordering Grab food more, isn't it? Right? So the 5G won't stop. Of course, 5G will be here for a while. There will be 6G. What does it mean? It means the chip business will continue to make. And right now at the 5G, you got the IoT and the Ultra. But more importantly, when the old people, the senior people, start to adopt it, that's very good news. Of course, slow lah, they're really slow. Just ask your father and mother, those or the more elderly one, see your grandfather, grandmother. Okay, see whether they adopt or not. First thing you do is let them see YouTube first. Like my auntie, she got a mobile phone. I let her see YouTube. Well, every day on the YouTube. China is going to go for 6G again. Yeah, that's right. 6G or 10G. That's correct. So again, the evolution is going to be there, right? And that's what some people say. Is this a long-term thing? It depends on your time frame. For me, it's longer term, but the rotational able to switch out and continue to follow us. Okay, as I bring to you right now, live FB. You don't have to, no matter where you are right now. If you're in Sabah, Sarawak, some of you who are watching from UK and also Australia, right? When you have 5G and 6G, the high-speed broadband, you can watch it as well. You can put on the virtual reality headset and you sit in the park. I'm just like sitting next to you, talking to you. I think that's China already got 6G. That's correct. Okay. So the most important is the human adoption, the older people. Because the older people, like it or not, they are the last to adopt. The young one right now, the generation X and the new millennium, you guys are digital native. Right, like my son, they are born with a handphone. No handphone, so they don't know what to do. Am I correct? No? Those of you, if you think what I'm right, just write digital native, especially your children. Okay. And that's what the future of 5G is here, and that's why you should care about it. So if you look at the three or more ways to play with it, I know there are 4 ways. Number one, 5G infrastructures like your Maxis. Remember XOX, so hot of the 5G, right? They're just talking about it. Boom, sudah jalan already. But I think that's very, very superficial because why? They're only serving one community, only Malaysia. But I like the chip maker, the mobile devices where they sell beyond Malaysia. Now, like XOX. Am I right? No, XOX only service Malaysia, right? Do they sell in Singapore? Do they sell in Indonesia? No, isn't it, right? Yeah. Okay. So, and the mobile devices make sense. If you look at it, the chipset, the DRAMs, and also the memories, they sell worldwide. And worldwide, we're talking about 7 to 8 billion people. It's very simple. You look at the COVID, how many people got COVID? 22, 23 million people, isn't it? Correct. And the IoT, the electric car, will be slow on that one. Definitely the US, the Teslas, and some of those, they will come in first. And the closest thing we will have will be the Dyson, which is the EMS, which brings me the next slide here. Now, this is an important one. Take a snapshot of this one because this is the whole list of the so-called ecosystem inside here. So again, these are the 4, take snapshot, use camera snap, this one, you can slice it out in here. These are the 4, the arrow one are the one that I like, okay? Which is the EMS, you can see, very easy to understand. The first one is the wafer. Second one is the OSAT, okay? Wafer, you have UWC, Frontcan, Emulex, to RIA, or so many that cannot. As an analyst or as a researcher, so many inside here. Some people ask me, hey, you miss out Frontcan, no? Got a Frontcan, Frontcan is there under wafer. Okay, then you get the OSAT. Although I worked in Intel before, so some of these are like we used to work in the more on the system development side. Then we know they are the Intel used to be automated test equipment, burn-in and test. Then you have the test contractors and the visual inspection here. And the EMS. EMS doesn't really fall under the 5G, but the fact that Dyson is being so smart, eventually they're going to IoT it, right? And who knows? There is a fan, I was told. It's called MPO4. My son told me that you can enable it to Bluetooth and you can detect the temperature and also many other things inside there. So this is the one that how can I access VSA in TradingView? Jake, if you want to access TradingView VSA, there is a subscription a plugin that you'll need to. There's a number there. Or if you do interested in our MasterClass, which we teach you a 3-day course plus the access, you can do that too. And it's very suitable for new beginners. And you have a 12-month receipt period here. So this is the one. And again, so you have this full list of stocks inside here. So the next thing you need to do, use Robie. Okay, use Robie to find out what are the popular one and the unknown counters. To me, what is popular may be good provided they continue to make money. And next one is undervalue and growth, all right, which is one of the questions you guys did ask. All the tech stocks that you see inside here, Summa, most of them are overvalued, but they are growth. You can't blame them, you know, the PE maybe, but look at the management. At the end, they look at the management. If a management sorry to say, like YTL or Berjaya one, habis one, I tell you. Yes, whatever they touches will turn to not so good business today lah. Am I correct? If you are incorrect, you type YTL or Berjaya, so I know you are acknowledged here. JCY is not, yes, JCY is not the 5G. They are related in the 5G. Right? Singapore launching 5G by Singtel. Oh, that's great, man. Right? So it's okay, Chris, your JCY is not there because some of them, they try to lump it inside. But this is the one that I got from the Star Business where analysts did that. So they categorize it. So what I took, I bring it up to you inside here, make it easier for you to understand, okay? Understand, JCY, yeah, they're hard. So 5, again, JCY and Dufu, they're all hard disk. Some people say hard disk, you put it into a DRAM, right? You still need 5G, right? It's an IoT. Depending on narrative, how you classify. Is revenue, no, revenue is on the e-payment. E-payment, again, you want to group it under there, also can. Or next time you buy things, you want high-speed payment, right? 5G. Again, it's all based on narrative. If you look at it purely from what I talk, right? Yeah, purely, look at this one. This is the pure 5G play. The 5G infrastructure, the chip maker, the mobile devices must be 5G, okay? And the IoT. Okay, so anything other fall outside that don't really fall. Like you ask me revenue or PayPal, they don't fall, but they fall under the tech stocks. Okay, they fall under the tech stocks. All right. So again, what does it mean? It means that if your portfolio, I have revenue, I have Penta, I have Globetronics. So you look at Globetronics, I have Globetronics and Inari, which is under OSAT. Okay, outsourced semicon. Then I have Penta under the ATE, automated one. Then I'm looking to buy at the ATE IMS, which I like, under the EWS, the Dyson one, for example. So you want to do is have, just like public bank, you got public bank, main bank, and M bank, all 3 bank under one sector. Takkan betul betul kan? So what you want to do, maybe if you want to have one, just have one public bank, just a little bit, and then you merge. So that's also important. Again, go back to the earlier round that I said, what is your goal here? If you're just purely trading, your time frame is no more than 2 to 3 months, then you can zoom in and zoom out. It really doesn't matter. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Revenue can grow up like Square in US. That's right, Jake. Yeah, Square has done pretty well, like PayPal. That's what revenue is trying to do. They're going to all this, but they also have GHL system as a competitor. Let's see how they do going forward. But they have very, very good potential. Yeah, that's right. YTL and Berjaya. True. Okay, good. You guys understand what I'm talking about. Great. I'm sure that if you watch me more, you'll know how my thinking like. More important, I'm trying to simplify all this for you guys. Okay. Sorry. Oh, so long already. Okay. So on Robie, so you can tap that one, and you could see there is a trading line. So what I'm trying to say, use Robie. If you like Inari in there, then look at the setup, which my coach is going to come in right next year. Okay. Okay. So this is another one. You can look at Inari from Robie. You look at the sentiment. Very positive. You can see right now, right? It's very positive, but the net profit slide 7.4. Okay, they're doing a lot of team up. So right now there is a intermittent correction inside there. So buy on bad news, sell on good news. That is rule number 1 for Warren Buffett inside. Right now you can see item number 1, Inari 4th quarter net profit slides. Okay. So how to do the market timing with trade VSA way, as you can see here, right? There are 4 steps. Okay, have you with me so far? If you're with me so far, just type 4. Okay, while I get a sip of water, I need to pass on to my next speaker in here. Is going to come in. Okay, just type 4. 4 simple steps. You can go and screenshot this, something for you to take home. You can cut me out, no problem, because I'm the top ups right hand side. But more important, these 4 steps will help you very easy. Okay, ready? 4 steps. Okay. So the first, practice this over and over and remember over. First one, okay, you want to check the Pentagon guided zone first, the KLCI, which means if it's green, bullish, you want thinking to be buying. Right now it's yellow, bearish, right? You want to avoid unless the sector is strong. This is where you go to point number 2. Number 2, you use the trade VSA sector analysis. You check the strongest sector to the weakest sector, which Zac is going to explain to you. And third, very important, you have a guide, which is like our coaches and we have Arif and also Zac inside here, which they were going to share with you how to use the line change, the market timing, the advanced trading, and using the sector screener to pick up it much better. No doubt, I just want to give you a broad face. And then number 4, then you use SmartRobie to check the FA, like just what I showed you the last 2 slides, whether the market timing, or if you felt that, hey, I don't need the human, I just use the robot also can. But we always feel that if you combine the human trainer, which is where we come in, I'm also human, isn't it? But we built the robots in there. So you put human and robot is best in class. Do you feel that way? If you feel that way, just like human plus robot is best. Because the robot don't sleep, right? 24/7, right? But we human need to sleep. No, cannot call Martin up every day, cannot call Zac up every day, or cannot get almost we are here every day in here. So are you ready? Now I want to call on Arif to be ready for our next coming talk. He's going to continue from here. So right now, I'm going to introduce Arif, my coach here, while I'll get a sip of water to follow our Trade VSA coach and trainer. And he's going to share with you, Arif, a couple of very, very simple line change in case study. And then Arif, you can pass on to Zac for this one. So I will give you so-called access first.
All right. Thanks, Martin.
Okay, I'll make you a host first.
Okay.
Stop sharing here. Okay, are you a host now?
All right, thanks. Just
can you share?
Okay, I'm done. So doing a sound check, testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Hopefully you all can hear me, yeah? Okay, all right. So I'll be doing sharing on with regards to like this is more like a case study. Okay, the actual later on of my colleague Zac, he will go on to using the screener and he will go through with you how he does his stock selections and stock picks. Okay, but for my part here, I will show you on the a case study of how to exit and when to exit and when to enter. Okay, so based on our topic today, we are looking at the rubber glove or the healthcare sector and also on the technology sector. So for rubber glove, Martin has mentioned that, it's time for you to move away from the rubber glove and then consider entering into the technology sectors there, all right? So we go to some of these few shares, okay, for case study purposes. The first one, of course, the famous, it will go to is Top Glove, okay? Now, Top Glove here, as we can see for the price and volume. Okay, so first thing, how you want to determine for the when is it the time to exit? Of course, we use Pentagon Guider as one of the indicators to help us guide in our trading. All right, but more importantly is for you to know the first step is the identify the trend or the market stages. Okay, and then number 2, of course, to establish where is the support and resistance in that chart that you're seeing here. All right, and then the third will be using the Pentagon Guider. You can use it to give you as a signal of when that there is a weakness coming in or there is a strength coming in. Okay, and then from there you determine to get ready, okay, according to your trading plan. Obviously, when you enter a trade, you should already have a trading plan in place, all right, and you have to follow diligently, all right, and then after that, that's where you do your entry or exit. So in this case here, we go and look at Top Glove here. What we see now, the price has been on an uptrend for some time already, okay, and how we see the uptrend, well, you can draw a line by taking the recent low here. We take from here and we see from here, it's like a recent low here that the rubber glove seems to be going on an uptrend here. That's one. Or another indicator that you can use, which I would normally use as a reference, would be the moving averages, which is the 20 moving average and the 40 moving average. Usually what we will see is that the moving average will give you a confirmation that there's a trend coming up. It's a strong trend. As the price move above these moving averages and this 20 is above 40, then we can say that there's a strong trend coming in. So what we see here, there's the trend coming up, and then the price from time to time, they'll move up, then they will do a pullback, come down. Okay, this is not a pullback. This is sort of like a wash. But you see the wash also touched at the 20 MA there. Then this is the pullback, what I mentioned. It came down, being supported at one area, then starts to move back up. okay? And then if the price starts to break the 20 MA and touches the 40 MA there and then not able to move up, that's why you can see there's a weakness there, okay? So here we can see from this part here is that the price is on the uptrend here, okay? So we just draw based on this, okay? Yeah, we can see the price is on an uptrend, okay? And then slowly at this high here is not able to move up that high. So we know that here the price should be moving on a sideways, okay? Take the other one here. So this is the height of the price here. So price, if it moves sideways, then it should be able to move up from, okay, when price moves sideways here, what you see is that sometimes if you depend on your trading side, if you use purely on moving average, then you may get knocked out from the moving average when it starts to move sideways because you'll not be able to read the moving averages well to give you a good signal. But let's say based on this, let's say we already set the uptrend is there, and then we see there's a price like moving a bit of a sideways here a bit, all right? And then we see here, suddenly we have the red pentagon coming in. So red pentagon, normally it will give a signal that market trend may change, may turn, and it may go on a downtrend or going to a downtrend. So what we see is that the price here, it has like a gap down here with the red pentagon, all right? And then it came down around here. We can see this is where it bounced off, the pivot where it bounced off. This is where you can take it as a support line. The top here where there's not, when there's a top side there and it came down and there's nothing that's for the price to break above, then that will be the resistance point here, okay? So once you establish it, then you can see that this is the range that the price will be moving sideways here, all right? But from the red pentagon that you see here is already giving a signal that there is a weakness coming in. And after that, of course, price rebound from this support line here, but when we see another upthrust here, okay, that the high here is not able to go above that recent high here at this UT here. This is at 7 August, and this is at the 24th of August. Then price came down again, all right, high volume here, but then after that, it rebounds back, and then again, it does another attempt to move. And on this day, I believe the split came into place, all right? But if you're going purely on technical basis, you will not look into the these earnings or dividends or the splits and everything. You will see purely based on the chart. If you are the fundamental type of person, then this thing will take into account for your splits, dividend, and earnings for quarterly earnings. But if you're using the canceling methodology, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago, then this will be one of the factors for you to consider in your trading, all right? So what I'm telling you now is based on purely on the technical part here, okay? So as we can see on this part here, we see that the volume is quite high here, all right? But then high volume, but the price closed lower, which means there's already a confirmation that there is sort of like a weakness coming in. You have the red pentagon here, all right? And the price not able to move up around here, okay? And then it's confirmed UT, which is a weakness. And then again, we have one price try to go up with a very high volume, but it end up closed at the lower part here. So this is where another sign of weakness coming into place here, okay? And if we look at the 2040 average there, at the 2040, the line there is getting smaller, okay? You notice here, the line is quite wide, so it will bounce off and it's still quite strong to move up there. But because of this, this is where usually if you follow purely red pentagon, you can exit from here. If you don't want to follow it, you want to wait for a few more sign of weakness along the way, like the confirmed UT and this no demands can say it's quite confirmed also. Then yes, it will may taper off. Then you may exit here. Okay, but what happens? Some people will ask if the price will start to move up. Then it's okay. You know, the important thing is that you want to at least lock in your profit early, right? You can't be too greedy in the market because sometimes we target around 20% or 30%, but already take half of it already. Is it like around, they say I target 30%, but I get around 20% already. So you just take your profit first, or you can take a partial profit, and then the remaining, if it doesn't follow through or it goes break down below this, we call it the support here, then it's time for you to exit, all right? Similarly, this is a top glove. Similarly, if we will go to at Supermax chart here, what we can see also the same thing, that we can see that there is the price has moved up. Okay, the price has moved up. It's an uptrend. Okay, We see that the price is moving on an uptrend here, and now after that it breaks the uptrend line there and starts to move on the sideways move here. Okay, and again we can see that there is a red pentagon coming in, and this is the high of it, that the price move up then and it doesn't go up and higher anymore after that. See the high here, it touches again, it came down. This is will be your support line here. Okay, so the support line, what you can do is you can take somewhat where the, if let's say the price meet one another. So we take here, okay, you can see the price touches here, and coincidentally this is where there was previously a resistance, and the price breaks up and do a pullback around here. A pullback, let's say you want to enter here, is where, you know, the price is along the support line there, volume is low, body is low, and the volume is a bit like drying off. That's where we can see it's a good support here. And the longer the price that a bit above this resistance and support, that's where you want to enter. Okay, but in terms of the exit part here, okay, we can see that the price touches the first time it cannot go up at this level, it came down. Second time it goes up again, still at that level, it cannot go through and it comes down again. All right, and here it touches on this side here. We can now determine is your support, this is your resistance line here. The price starts to come up, and we see the uptrend here. It goes up, but you see the volume, it starts to drying off. Price go up, volume drying off. Those who attend the masterclass, you know that, you know, if you want to have the price to move up, then you need to have a high or increasing volume. But in this case, it doesn't go well with it. Price goes up, but the volume coming down, so it goes down again. Again, it tries to break up around here, but price closed lower than this previous high of the UT. So you see the UT, this is the high of the UT here. Use the other one. This is the high of the UT here. Okay. So you can see the UT, that's the high here, it came down. Then the price goes up. In the morning, it opened up, but end of the day, it closed down. Closing price is important if you use the volume spread analysis. We don't really see what's the opening line. Usually we see the spread of the bar and also the closing price of that day. So we can say that this price tried to break above this recent resistance here, and it closed lower. So it confirms that this is another level of resistance, and price eventually starts to come down here. At this point, we see it goes break below the trend line here. So most likely, if let's say it does break the support line here, then we may see the price will start to come down. Otherwise, if around here, then maybe it starts to move sideways. Okay. Another one we can look at would be Harta Lega. Harta Lega will have like a nice indication to tell you that the trend is going down here. Okay, previously you have the uptrend around here. Okay, you can see that this is the uptrend side here, right? And again, price at the UT here. Okay, it came down with a spring here, right? So we mark this UT, the high of the UT here, okay, as your resistance, right? And then the price came down, break the trend line, okay? Then it being supported by the spring here, it goes up again. But overall, you can see from here, if you take the high of the UT here, okay, and connect to the next line there, right, is that the trend has now changed. Okay? So if I were to take up from here, so from this high here, it came down here, it connects to this, the trend is going down here. And you can see there's a red pentagon here already indicating that, you know, and the price already break down the trend line there. So obviously price should not be able to move up. Then it should be an indication for you to sell already. Okay, so by this time you should be selling already at this level here, right? And then you just find another shares already. Normally inside our system, if you have like, or you look at the SmartRobie, when it always says that if you can enter when the pentagon turns green, or at this price level at the support or resistance, but when it comes to the red pentagon, quickly you exit, all right? But then again, you still need to see what is the market stages like. Because if they say, like, for example, you enter somewhere around here, okay, you already entered early, and then the price suddenly moves sideways here, but you have red pentagon. So when you have red pentagon, normally what you want to see, the price will start to move down already, okay? But then you see at this level here, it's still being supported. It's not a very high movement. So then you can still want to hold it, no problem, okay? But let's say you want to use purely on the pentagon, you can, there should be no problem on that, right? But in this case, for our Harta Lega, the price is already Harta Lega already show a downtrend lah. So if you want to go on the long term for FA wise, you consult with SmartRobie what Harta Lega is, and if it is a good FA ratings, then you buy and you go for a long. Otherwise, if you are not keen on the rubber sector, then you just go on to other sector, which is the technology sectors. Okay, so technology sector, this is for exit strategy, right? This is where you can exit from here already, or usually around uptrust here you can exit here also. As the price starts to come down, you can just already exit already, right? So there's multiple ways. So there's either you based on using the sign of weakness there, or you can use based on the trend line, the price breaks the trend, and if it's confirmed by the red pentagon, then it's purely you can exit, no problem. Okay, so the next one will go for the technology sector. Technology sector is where you can use for the entries. Okay, we go and look at GF Tech. Okay, so under the JF Tech here, what we have, you can see that there's a nice uptrend around here. So we look at this Surah night already, okay, but let's say we focus on at this part here, when the price was all the way coming down, okay. For green pentagon, what you can do is when you have the price is up here, okay, this bar here, and you have the green pentagon, what normally we will do is we want to wait for a confirmation bar for the next bar, so which is confirmed at here. Okay, so when this bar appears here, what you can do is, this is a confirm bar, so you enter on the next bar after that to enter. So your stop loss, you can put it as at this level here. Okay, this level here. So this low of this price is at 1.34. So just 1.34. Maybe you can put just 1 point below, which is 1.33. Let's say put on 1.33. Just adjust a bit. Okay, 1.33. Okay, just because this bar here, the first bar, green pentagon. Okay, and then the next bar it confirms because it closed higher. So you can take this bar, the confirm bar, the 1 point low here, as the we call this your stop loss. Okay, 1 point below the low of this confirmation bar. You can take also here at this level here also at the green pentagon, that 1 point below of this bar here as your stop loss. Okay, and you make the entry on the third bar here. Okay, and then after that you hold it up. Normally for pentagon, right? Because if you look at SmartRobie, we have the button for trending stocks, and then we have the button for the Pentagon Guider, and then the premium alert. So for trending stocks, normally it's for the stocks already in the trend and it's moving up already. But if you see in the Pentagon Guider, it's more of like the stocks which is akan datang or will be coming soon to move up there. Okay, but in terms of using Pentagon, you must be able to have a longer holding time period. As in this case here, if let's say you entered at somewhere around here, okay, let me just take the arrow. If you entered somewhere around here, okay, on the 1st of April, okay, and this part here is already, let's say we make the entry price, you entered somewhere around this price here. I'll take this one. Okay, let's say enter somewhere around here, 1.36. Okay, if you hold until here, okay, on 12 May, which is nearly around 1 month and a half, you already have earned around 37%. But if you were to hold a bit more longer up to the side here, it would be around 150% already. Okay, for this is July, April, May, June, around 3 months, and that you have 150 points there already. Okay, again, this is if you are already riding in the sector where the trend is coming up, then it's good for you. Okay, again, this is based on purely on case studies. All right, but I find that if you buy and hold for a longer term period, all right, then it will be there's a profit to be made from there. Okay, so what we see here is that based on this entry, you can hold longer and you can earn a lot of rewards from there. All right, so another example we go to look at is at Penta. Okay, at Penta Master. So Penta Master also here, what we see here is that price already moved up at this level here. Okay, it went down, the lowest is around $1.59. Now it's at 4 ringgit 58 cents. So that's around like 300% around there. Okay, but we look at the Pentagon, based on Pentagon here, you see came up Pentagon here. Now Pentagon came up here. We can see there's a topping tail there. So the high of that topping tail is at 2.775. I think they have a share split, is it? Yeah, there's a share split here, 3/2. Because we have here, we see from the chart here, 2.775, okay, 2.775. So tak apa, we just put as 2.775. Okay, coordinates 2.775, okay, based on this pentagon here. So we wait for the price to close above this bar here. So we can see from here that this price here. So it came out here on green pentagon on 7th of April, but you don't enter yet. You wait for the price to break to close higher than this 2.775, which it did at this price here. I don't think here it closed, right? It closed at 2.778. Okay, it's 2.778, but consider that not so great. So we take this one lah. Okay, at 14 May here, it closed higher than this bar here. All right. So from here, what you can do is you can take this as your confirmation bar, and you can take this low of this bar here as your stop loss. Okay. You take the low here as stop loss. Okay, because based on this bar here to this bar here, so it's quite a long distance. So take this bar as a stop loss, then you enter the next bar, and you can see the price starts to move up already. I think this one also maybe like 100% plus. We see you were to enter here. Okay. Stop loss is how much? Is 11%. Okay. Again, each individual will have a different trading plan, and each individual will have a different risk to yourself. All right. So again, look at your risk to reward ratio and how much percent that you're willing to risk. Okay, normally we go for the risk to reward of 1/2. So in this case, if you're willing to risk at the low here, the bottom there is at around, how much was this? Around 12%. Okay, and then you should aim for like at least 24%, which you will come up at after 27 bars or at around 1.5 months later. Right? If you were to hold a bit more longer, then it will be more higher there. Okay, so this is under Penta here. Okay, so now we see here in Penta here also, recently there is a price, green pentagon here. Okay, but then you see now at this point of time, at this high here, okay, and this is the low. The low we take somewhere around here. Okay, we can take somewhere around here, right? So you see the price now moving sideways here. So we have the green pentagon coming in. Okay, volume is a bit lower at this level here. All right. So what we want to see, if it say you based on this price here, we want to wait for the price to close higher than this green pentagon, then this signal here. Okay, then you want to make an entry there. All right. But you see also the overall trend lah. Okay, the overall trend is on the uptrend there. Then it should be. Or if you don't want to enter here, you can enter when the price starts to break up. Let's say in this case here, for example, let's say you did this example, this price here is actually a breakout from the resistance line here. A breakout, then you do a pullback there, right? And we do a pullback there, and you want to see a drying volume, then let's say you want to make an entry there. You can enter on there as well. Let's see if the other stock we have, LSOF, does it have a pullback there? And I will show you. Okay. LSOF still like moving a bit of a sideways range here, as we can see, right? Although the price did break up. Let's say I take this height here as my indicator for the price to break up. Okay, so I'll just bring a bit lower here, right? So this is where the line is. Okay, this is the resistance line, because there was a previous support around here, came down, move up there again. Here we don't have any nice pullback methods here. Okay, but again, using a green pentagon somewhere around here. Okay, at this point here, if you entered at the green pentagon here, then this bar here already confirmed the pentagon. This one here, you don't enter. Now, many people, what happens is when they see the green pentagon, then the next bar they see morning 10 o'clock, the price is already at the top there. Then you start to enter. No, usually wait by the end of the day, once this bar has confirmed the close of the price where it is at. Okay, if there's no point if they say you have a topping tail there, but the close of the price is still lower than the close of the yesterday's price. So that's not considered a confirm for the pentagon there. Okay, you want to be confirm that this bar here, say it closed higher. This bar closed at 50 cents, and this bar here closed at 49 cents. So that 1 cent different, and but still a lot. It means that this is a confirmed bar. Then you can enter at the following bar there. Okay, and you can take here as your stop loss there already. And as the price move up, you raise your stop loss. Okay, so let's say this is your stop loss. You enter at this bar here, at this point here, around 49 cents. and then you just write with the trend. So let's say around here, the highest here, maybe okay, within 1.5 months, around 50%. Quite good return also if you use the Pentagon guider. The Pentagon guider. Okay, right. So this is some of these case studies, all right, that I've gone through with you. Okay, for LSOF, most likely it will be like akan datang, like it seems it's still moving sideways range here, but what we want to see is that there's an increasing volume and the price starts to increase. There's a good signal that the price will be moving up from there on. Okay, now having said that, you can refer back, okay, for those who have subscribed to the Trade BSA, the signals, the indicators, you can use the Pentagon guider, okay, inside there, the list, or apply the indicator, Pentagon guider indicator, and you can do a back testing and do your research from there, all right? Pentagon guider will work if, let's say, there's a stage 1 accumulation and the trend is coming up to push the price up. So that's why you make the entry there, okay? Right. So this is some of the case studies I have inside here. Okay, and I will pass on to Zac. He will show some of the live trading based on, no, not live trading, sorry. He used based on the Pentagon screener, how he used the select, and we'll share with you in a short while. Yeah. Zac, you ready, Zac?
Yes, thank you, Alif.
Okay, wait, I just stop sharing.
Okay, Alif, I need you to stop the pass me the screen sharing.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. Okay, just want to check if my sound is okay. Okay, just want to check a quick one. Is my sound is okay before I start?
Okay, done.
Okay. So okay, thank you, Martins and Alif, okay, for the sharing sessions. Okay, so probably I go to a quick one. Okay, we go into sectors directly. Okay, I think yesterday for those who following us in the live Facebook too, I do share about some of the sectors. Okay, how do you going to look into sectors and you're going to trade something is either you want to trade something momentum or at least you want to trade something's coming from there's the chances for them to grow. Okay, but again, I'll look into this a quick one. This is actually from our TradeVista website. You just for members, just click here, then you go to this Bursa sector analysis. You should be able to see this diagram. Okay, so my source is okay, right? Right, we're gonna continue from here. So by looking at this, of course, utility and media, which is standing at the second and third. Most of the time don't really follow this two section because sometimes it's a bit like boring and sideways. So technology definitely is the one that growing, and this week seems like they got lots of momentum. So if you are looking for some momentum type of sector or stock to trade, I think you can always look into the first one, which is the highest potential growth. Okay, plantation is slowly moving up too. Okay, I can see from here, so they are increasing, so still got lots of rooms to growth. Energy is coming down a bit. Healthcare is coming back. Okay, seems like coming back from here. So finance still not doing very well too. Okay, so now we focus the first one. Most of the time, let's say we're going to trade for something is coming momentum. Right, so let's go directly into our this sector screeners. Okay, let's focus some tech stocks. Okay, for this. So I think Martin already shared a few of the tech stocks, and just now Alif also share some of the counters too, including like Penta, all this. But it's okay. Let's try if we can find more good counters or not. Okay, under technology during these sectors. Okay, using the screeners over here. All right, so a few things that we always can look at again. I think I've repeat this on a Friday, member training, or also the live Facebook too. Okay, some of the things that you can use it over here. I always like to sort according to highest momentum. Of course, not necessarily need to trade on the highest momentum, because most of the time, someone do ask me, okay, what it means by SCLT and the percentage. Okay, so if you see more percentage, which means these stocks have been going up quite rapidly, or maybe They have been going up for quite some time. Okay, so if I want to trade, probably I would avoid, because why? These stocks might having some sort of pullbacks. Okay, maybe a big pullbacks. Okay, so let's try MYSCM. Okay, let's see over here. Okay, oh, sorry, should use the pentagons. Okay, let's switch to daily chart. So this is what I mean. Okay, so it's been going up for quite some time. Okay, 300% in LT trend. Okay, and then now they are making a big pullbacks currently. Okay, so that's why that when price going up for too rapidly, okay, most of the time I try to avoid, because I want to avoid the big pullbacks there. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do is that using these screeners, okay, I like to look for something is a good range. Of course, we check the Samsung sell weakness, and for members, okay, you can use the 3 month and 1 month, okay, to further to help you to pick the stocks. Okay, I think I have mentioned, I have go through that, okay, on the training. Okay, now immediately that caught my attention. Okay, if I'm using the 3 month, now let's try to sort according to 3 months there. Okay, of course the highest is MSCM. Let's try something. I want to have high in 3 months and low in 1 month, so that we know that we are trading in very nice range. Okay, so immediately I think Prestarian. Okay, Prestarian caught my attentions. Okay, App Asia. Okay, App Asia is okay with a nice range. And Emulus. Okay, let's try Emulus first. Okay, let's try Emulus. Okay, nice one, reaccumulation. Okay, now the problem is there's no green pentagons yet, okay, at this moment. So for members, actually can wait for the green pentagons to appear. Okay, if not, you use the hourly chart. Okay, you use the hourly charts to look for the green pentagons to trade. Okay, so now currently still sideways. Okay, I think the best is that now this is the NS here, right? So which means potentially support is here, which is they are hanging currently on the NS areas. So wait for the green parents to appear for Emulus. Okay, so far so good. Emulus having a very strong background, and now they are doing a reaccumulations there. All right, so let's try App Asia. Okay, with 70% over the past 3 months, and over 30% of past 1 month. Okay, so let's try App Asia. Okay, today we just purely focus on tech. Okay, now this is nice. Okay, because there is a strong confirmation on NS. Okay, I remember someone asked me about this. Are you the one that asked me about App Asia, about NS? So at the time when I can't recall who someone asked me. Okay, but by the time that this member asked me, okay, actually this is still in what, the red pentagon spot. Okay, and yes, it do have NS, but sometimes let's say there's no green pentagon or confirmation line change in this case. Okay, it might drop further. Okay, to the 40. Okay, but with this bar, okay, actually there actually is a strong confirmation telling you that, okay, someone might step in. Okay, oh, but the last closing is kind of high volume. Okay, now I think they will continue to make some pullbacks, okay, on next week. Okay, before you want to look for entry. Now this is a gaps for them to close. So haven't really closed the gaps yet. That's why there's resistance here. Okay, against we do respect a lot of these gaps, okay, to ensure that the support resistance whether it can successfully break above. Okay, volume is high. Again, we focus a lot of volume. Okay, that's how volume spread analysis work. Okay, yeah, I think I'll be still asking this. Okay, so well, let's monitor. So if let's say there's another low volumes coming in, I think yes, you can slowly look for entry, because the high volume, especially on red pentagon. Okay, this is the bar that I'm waiting. Okay, before you want to enter. Okay, based on the NS over here. So similar one with cluster closes. Okay, so if you see bearish cluster closes, you don't enter first. Okay, like for example, this is the bearish cluster closes. Okay, of course, overall still in uptrend, but because you are trading at a weak background. Okay, so you better wait for the confirmation. Okay, before you enter. Okay, now this is a bullish cluster closes, so you can enter immediately. Okay, no issue. All right, so hopefully members by now you know how to identify the strong background, weak background. Okay, which is the one that need to wait for confirmation, which is the one that you can enter directly. Okay, of course this is the one that if you're applying cluster closes or the NS method. Okay, so App Asia can, okay, just that it haven't turned to green pentagon yet, so you can monitor the hourly chart. Okay, hourly chart is in green, but that the closing on yesterday actually come with high volume on Taobao. So probably wait for the narrow spread, high volume, low volume first, okay, before looking for entry. Now this is the one that it's kind of good, okay, in my opinion. Okay, so let's try Iris. Okay, I think yesterday I focused a lot on plantation. I haven't really go through the tech counters. Okay, so nice uptrend. Okay, no red pentagons there at this moment. They are going through reaccumulation. Okay, so it's kind of similar Amulets, but I like this more because in the same time it do have this so-called pocket pivots kind of methods. Okay, so pocket pivot combining with pullbacks. Okay, a completion of pullbacks over here, followed by currently is a nice pocket pivots areas. So overall, if you realize this counters here doesn't show any weakness. Okay, doesn't show any weakness. Okay, I don't see any upthrust there. I don't see any potential distribution on high volume down bar. Okay, so holding still quite strongly. Okay, overall over here. Okay, so now this is the gaps areas that they will continue to test before breakup high. Okay, so monitor on Iris too. So JCY, the other day having some sort of momentum. I think you all know about JCY, so it's okay, just skip it. Let's try. Okay, JF Tech. Okay, also in a good range. I think JHM is one of my favorites too. Okay, now let's try JF Tech and JHM. Okay, overall I think Tech is still okay. Just that DJI is making a big pullback, so I think definitely some of these counters will going back to support and test again. Okay, so if you realize most of Friday counters they actually open up lower, but also trying their hard to close back on the line change. Okay, so JF Tech too, but JF Tech is similar like Inari. Actually, it's kind of trading pretty far away from. It's not very far, but it's slightly far away from 20-day moving average. Okay, so I was waiting for them to at least try around this area. Okay, before I consider for my entry again for JF Tech. Okay, around these areas. So again, if you're not sure, okay, how you're going to check your support resistance, always refer back to your line change signals. Okay, so that's will give you a very clear indications that where's the stocks that probably you would test again. Okay, later on. So okay, JHM, let's try. Oops. Okay. JHM a bit similar like kind of Iris patterns also. Huh? So what I have here, a strong trend. Okay, a strong trend, reaccumulation, forced breakout. Okay, this is the first forced breakout. Okay, but in the same times we have a spring. So again, what it means, okay, sellers at the top, buyer at support. Okay, so spring representing supports. Okay, so sorry, spring representing buyer is coming in. Okay, so which means this stocks there's a support in the background. Okay, now we just turn to green pentagons. Okay, holding nicely. Okay, so again, this masterclass are gonna share what it means by pocket pivots. Okay, but this is a nice pocket pivot stops. Okay, that you can monitor. So if you let's say you compare to counters from plantation, I think plantation have a nice move from yesterday's. Okay, so here this is the one. Okay, and it come with NS2. Okay, after the confirmation. Okay, so true low volume subsequently break up successfully. Okay, so a nice pattern. Okay, so JHM I do see they got a similarities, okay, on this kind of pattern. So hopefully let's see, okay, after 1 week or 2 weeks they can break up successfully. Okay, now background definitely is strong for JHM. Okay, like I said, green pentagon is there, and with the springs bar holding above the reaccumulations areas, and the 2040 now it seems like very close currently. Okay, so there's one counters that I think you should at least try to pay a little bit more attention. Okay, moving forward. Okay, now let's continue to look into this screeners over here. So again, what we're trying to do is that we look into the sectors. Again, I repeat, we look into the sectors. Okay, we identify which sectors we want to focus. Okay, then we use this to help us out further. Okay, MPK out nice. Orion, okay, they are related to gold. Okay, but in the same way, they are tech companies. Okay, so let's try Orion. I kind of like Orion because I think the gold GC, you can check out the GC counters. Okay, so sorry, GC charts. Okay, gold futures. They're actually having a very nice spring and NS. Okay, so let me zoom this out. Okay, spring, NS, spring. Okay, so you know that the support is strong. Okay, at 1920. Okay, so this seems like a potential of pullbacks for the gold futures. Okay, so Orion actually kind of their movement is actually pretty similar, like Moon Properties, very similar like Pokong Tome style. Okay, so if you look into here, they break up. Okay, and yes, there's a red pentagons there. Okay, market is like selling off with a widespread bar, but one thing is, okay, you realize there's no much volume on the down bar. Okay, again, VSA, we focus volume. Okay, we focus on volume to check sellers in control overall or buyers is in control overall. Okay, now of course they are doing some sort of like reaccumulations currently. Okay, like I said, they are following the gold counters closely. Okay, but if you look closely again into this hourly chart, okay, you will see actually more strengths coming in, okay, with a good volume. Of course, now turns to red again because it's not ready yet because GC is still hanging around like 1920, between almost 198 something or to 2000s. Okay, so definitely still will sideways over here, but most important is for me is that volume need to be getting lower. Okay, when they test the support. Okay, so now if you want to trade something is momentum on these counters, make sure you wait for the green pentagons. Okay, now it's touching 20. Okay, so I think you can try to monitor some of this potential entry. Okay, for Orions. Okay, I mean they are kind of benefited with the gold from the gold counters, from the gold prices and the text too. So DNO, of course, this is a pullback. Okay. Okay, now this nothing much. Actually, this is a classic pullback style. Okay, so going up. Okay, big upthrust. This is the where that I take my profits. Okay, and then coming down again, spring NS pullbacks. Okay, so if you miss this trade, wait for the next pullbacks. Okay, wait for the next pullback. So still in very strong trends over here, but if you look for entry now, I think your risk is definitely higher. Okay, a bit higher currently. Okay, if you're looking to enter for DNO. Let's see some things that haven't break up yet, so that we got a chance to enter at least next week. All right, let's see iStone. Okay, overall I think tech counter still doing pretty good. Okay, even though markets is bearish. Okay, but they are holding very nicely. Okay, but iStone at this moment probably I will try to avoid first because again, like I said, we always check on the background. Okay, if anything's come with distribution sign, then we will probably not so focused that much. Okay, on this kind of counters. Okay, so like some of the counters I shared with earlier on, like JHM, you don't see any main distributions bar, but this case iStone seems like having it. Okay, so maybe I'd like to focus on this. I think someone mentioned about front can. Okay, let's try G-Tronic and front can. Okay, now you see G-Tronic again. This background is pretty strong. Okay, now doing some sort of like a sideways reaccumulation. So again, a nice trend should have sideways reaccumulations or pullback. Okay, now this is the one. Spring. Remember just now I showed you DNO. Okay, DNO goes up, it dropped, spring NS, then they go back again. Okay, so now G-Tronic is doing springs. So they are waiting for a time again overall here. But everything's still healthy. Yes, there's one duty over here, but again, if you look into this volume, it doesn't show a high volume. Okay, so overall the trend is still pretty healthy for G-Tronics. And let's try front can. Okay, front can actually just turned to green pentagon, but the same as UT lah. So that's why they are moving sideways. But this is a confirmed springs, which means technically this is a pullback style. Okay, where we cover in the masterclass over here. So trend still very good. Okay, again spring. Lots of tech counters actually come with spring. Okay, lots of text cannot come in spring. So they are actually doing a very nice pullback. Okay, just that they haven't really ready yet to follow through. So it seems like they are waiting for the time. Okay, again, spring come with test. Okay, so definitely building a support. Not much confirmation on the UT yet. And again, if you realize there's no high volume, specifically high volume on this UT bar. Okay, still sideways for front can, but it's a good area for them to test. Okay, MMSB. Okay, MMSV. MMSV still got a lot of potential. Okay, those that front can all actually DNO actually have break up above the resistance, right? So MMSV, of course, there's a big UT here. Okay, now this is similar like previously like front can, so that's why they need time. Okay, now let's do some case study over here, right? Again, we always go back to some case study. Okay, because how smart money move, okay, actually it's pretty much the same. Okay, so here's a big UT here, so definitely they need time, of course, with market condition. Okay, they have to have come with the right conditions, okay, for them to break above successfully. So front can actually took around how many months? This is from June to July. Okay, so almost 1 month. Okay, 1 month and a week. Okay, to break up the UT area. So MMSV, let's try. Haven't really break yet. Okay, so they are still taking the time. This is since June until now. Okay, but okay, if I close this UT area, okay, because I want to see the volume. Okay, we want to check the volume here. Oops, I have to hide this. How can I hide this? Okay. So if you want to check the volume areas, okay, we got a spring here. We got springs here, and now green pentagon as a confirmation of the pullback. So I think they're going to try the resistance very soon, okay, for MMSB. So again, if you look in the top here, I don't see major weakness bar. Okay, I don't see major weakness bar like uptrust, all this. Okay, so yes, high chance for them to follow through. Chrono and Alsof also. Okay, please monitor on this too. They are slowly coming back again. Okay, so Kuskapi. For me, tech still got a lot of potential. Okay, some of this counter is not that too hot. Remember in VSA, we always try to trade something is not too hot. Okay, not too hot. The news not really cover them. The Telegram channel not really covering them. Okay, now this is how, again, just want to give some example. Hopefully you'll take this example. Okay, like this red tag so far. This is one of my very good trades. Okay, that I've been holding almost. Hopefully another 1 or 2 weeks I can get my 200%. But if you pay attention closely on the Telegram channel, the public channels, right? Actually, not much people talk about counters like UWC, maybe UWC, yes. Okay, Jeff Tech, me, Greg Tech. Not much people talk about it. Okay, a lot of people still talk about counter like Togler, Supermax, K1, okay, K1, MTAG, still a lot of people talk about this kind of counters, okay, but this kind of counters seldom people talk about it, okay, and they actually is the one that able to move it up consistently, okay, without much weakness, okay. Of course, a lot of people ask, hey, got UT lah, should I be worried? Okay, yes, of course, there will be UT, okay, along the way, because sellers start to coming in, but we check the volume overall. Is there a big distribution or not by the smart money? Okay, retailer side, I think it's okay, because as long as the smart money is still there to support the rally, then I'm fine. So if you look into volume over here, the UT volume, it doesn't show a high volume. They're able to change the trend again. Okay, so overall still okay. So you should look this kind of counters, okay, which is very quiet currently. Not much people talk about it, and it's slowly showing some strength. Okay, now this is a counter that maybe for trading purpose, it's not for keep for you to hold for midterm. Okay, efficient. Okay, again, if you look at these charts, no major weakness. Okay, no major weakness. Okay, we got a good line change the other day. Okay, a good line change. Okay, and if you look into the support areas, Okay, we got spring and NS. Okay, so again, what it means by NS? No supply. Okay, again, what it means by no supply? Okay, in case you don't know, which means these particular areas there is no sellers. And like I say, when you see NS, this is the areas that building a solid support areas. Okay, now I missed this entry. Okay, now I was waiting for my chance again. So let's see next week I got chance to enter near to the NS areas or not. Okay, volume is low on Friday, which is nice, a good thing. Okay, because volume should be low. Okay, to ensure that sellers is getting reduced. Okay, so now efficiency. Just pay attention. Okay, so I was looking for some things like efficient actually. I think E-Force, okay, doing the same things too, but E-Force, because of the news with Huawei the other day, okay, so they have some sort of distribution. All right. Again, okay, we focus on volume. Now, most of the time I don't really like news, okay, because news is the one that people use this to sell it. Okay, I think like the other day, Enix also, okay, it's going up, but afternoon it released some news regarding vaccine, but after that it dropped again. Okay, XOX is a classic example. I don't know how many of you are in XOX right now. Okay, hopefully you are not trapped under here once the news release. Okay, now remember that news is not for you to make money. Okay, news is not for you to make money. Okay, I got to know some of my friends actually they are trapped over here. Okay, because they thought that okay they want to do a quick FIFO because news ma, right? Good news ma with Ants group, right? Should be going up higher, right? But in the end they're trapped. Okay, so similar one like E-Force. Okay, if you ask me between XOL and E-Force, I prefer E-Force more. Okay, because E-Force first of all, not that hot in the market. Okay, people are still talking about XOX because they've been trapped inside. Okay, now E-Force been slowing down for quite some time after the Huawei news. Okay, but again, if you pay attention on the volume again, we look into the volume. Okay, this is about it. I think they are releasing the news. Okay, price tried to go up higher. Okay, but in the end it didn't. Okay, it closed lower. So we look into the volume. Do you have the high volume like XOX? Okay, it doesn't have the high volume like XOX. Okay, so this tells me that yes, they are doing a big pullbacks. Okay, they are doing a big pullback. Now here, spring, NS. Okay, so this is the evidence of they are doing pullbacks. Okay, now they have turned to red pentagon on Friday. Okay, but overall they are still supporting pretty nicely. So probably I don't know. Let's see which one comes first. Okay, either is efficient or extra force. Okay, I think this is a nice trade also. All right, so this is an area that you should pay attention to it. All right, so if not for XL Force Pro member, if you want to trade this, okay, you wait for the green pentagons to appear first. Okay, I think currently this two is worthwhile for our attentions if you are looking for some tech counters, efficiency and XL Force. Okay, let's see any others. Okay, let's try Velo. Velo have been quiet for quite some times also. This is the one that, you know, no trades, okay? No trading setups, okay? So you must avoid totally. So whenever there's high volume, okay, remember that whenever there's high volume, the price must support it well, okay? But this is the case that it doesn't support well. So that's why we skip totally. This Sonic also quite boring one, okay. Key axis, okay, I think key axis, the support is pretty strong. Okay, boring, okay, it's a boring counters, but this is a counters that, you know, you need a lot of patience, okay, on this kind of counter, but you can always get a very nice risk to reward, okay, from this kind of trade. Okay, volume is high on our line change. Okay, so again, we monitor the high volumes areas, right? So high volumes areas, it comes with spring and NS again, so which means that this level got lots of people are supporting these counters. Okay, but again, nothing is 100%. Once you drop, you must cut. So use your spring areas as stop loss. Okay, so key axis is also a counter that you can monitor too. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I think I was towards the endings here. Maybe I will take one or two questions. Okay, Dufu. Dufu is coming with spring, so it's a pullback. Okay. So for those that who are interested in pullback, okay, you can actually consider to follow us or join us in the masterclass. Okay, so here, spring now turns to green pentagons. Okay, turning to green pentagon. Okay, so hopefully DJI pullback will end soon. Okay, because let's try Apple, because Inari all is following Apple very closely. Oh, a big spring. Okay, a big spring from yesterday. Let's try Tesla. Another spring. Okay, let's try Zoom. Okay, not a spring. Okay, this is not a spring. Any others? FB. So as long as it's a spring, then it's a good. Okay, see this? All the tech counters come with springs. Okay. So during pullback, this is one that we wanted to see. Nice one. Okay. So DJI counters, tech counters mostly come with SP. Okay, so pay attention. Okay, so SP is a good sign, lah. Okay, if you look into like counter like Jufu, Inari, G-Tronic, all this, right? It comes with this kind of patterns. Okay, the pattern is the same. Now, how to smart money operate? Technically, mostly is the same. Now, Dufu got green pentagon some more. Okay, now let's try a few more before we close. Okay, OpenSys and Cycom before we close. Cycom having a very good one on Thursday, but unfortunately it doesn't really follow through. I think because of market split. Okay, on Thursday after lunchtime. Okay, I still remember that. I think it dropped around like 20-30% for KLSE the day. Okay, but as you can see here, they are about to trade within this range. Okay, again, use the high volume. Now the reason why I like KLSE, okay, because of this high volume. Okay, because of this high volume. Notice this high volume. Okay, support is there. Okay, again, not necessarily ask you to enter immediately, but this is the areas that you should monitor for sound strength. Okay, so for KLSE, I do see sound strength is building up. Okay, around the support area. All right, so let's go to the last one, ScopeNet, before I pass back to Martin. Spring is the price rejections. Okay, so I think for me, spring is the areas that they are trying to remove the sellers. Okay, spring is the areas that they are trying to remove weekend holders during weak markets. Technically, they want to sketch you off, price drop already. People thought that it's going to crash, it's going to end. The trend is going to end. Okay, people selling it off. They are buying from you. Okay, so of course, for all the FB, Apple counters, okay, now look for the confirmation on spring. Okay, not necessarily. Sometimes spring it will rebound. Okay, on the next day. So sometimes it will go lower again. Test few more days. Okay, the smart money to ensure the seller is gone from the markets before they're ready to change the trend again. Okay. Now, ScopeNet, if you are holding, okay, I think should not be issue. Okay, now again, if you look into ScopeNet, it's pretty direct. Okay, now spring here. So now this is like like Apple for me. Just now, if you look into Apple FB counters, I don't know, maybe Google having that too. We'll take a look later on. It's similar like here. Okay, or you can wait for the up bars to confirm. Okay, where we covered in the masterclass, or you wait for the green pentagons to confirm. Okay, so now this is a bit slightly far from the 20. Okay, of course, if you are holding, I think you still can run your profit. Maybe during pullback you can top up more. If you are looking for entry, maybe not now. Okay, I would like to wait for my next spring for me to enter. Okay, which is I think like G-Tronic, Dufu, they are currently doing that. Okay, they are currently doing that. All right. So okay. Oh, MACD cross signals. They were not so sure because I didn't use any MACD. Okay, Chris. So okay, with this, I think I'll pass back to Martin. Okay, Martin, are you there? Okay, let's try.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Martin, I'll pass back to you.
Okay, give me back the thing. Okay, I will share my screen, Zac.
Okay.
Make me back host. Okay, so you can see me right now. And is the sound coming okay? So many of you have a lot of questions, which is good. I think the question is always curiosity to have. Now, remember, we cover both technical and fundamental. We have our coach, Arif, was doing some sharing of case study, and Zac really went into very deep. Some of you come in from different background like MACD, that's also good too. But again, go back to what works for you. If MACD works for you, make sure you become very good in it and get the kind of support that you needed, all right? We find that my experience with some of those traditional MACD, which I have talked about in everything, they tend to be very lagger because they don't have volume inside there. So that is also important. Some of you, so those of you who is really looking, you can see how committed our team. We always work as a team. We have Arif, coach, myself. We cover both fundamental and technicals. Those of you, how many of you are from the volume side? Sorry, from the technical side? And just type in technical. How many are from the value investing side? Just type if you are from the value investing. I am also a value investor, but I just find it over the years, value investing has dropped its effectiveness. Right, like you say, everything is expensive. How to buy it? So if you don't buy, you buy banks. How are you going to make money, right? So then the next question is profit or return is a unit of measurement, or you just want to buy something that is cheap? Okay, so that's always been, because I feel that I'm much better having money with price appreciation rather than buying something that is I do not know what's the future is going to be like. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why continue to upgrade your skills, as I said before. So as such that we have done many hours. Okay, we have done thousands of hours. As you can see, our coaches and trainers are really committed in the educational video and our trade idea. We trade and we do what we do on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So you continue to find. I don't want to take too much of your time. It's already 4 o'clock. Thank you for your time. I'm just going to summarize in here. So those sunset sectors which I've talked about in here, buy cheaply and hold those. How many of you agree with me? Those sunset sectors, finance in a way can be in that grave area depending on the interest rate movement. So if you are just type avoid sunset sectors, like travel and airlines. I don't know, right now it does with the post-COVID, everything has changed, the whole equation and how we look at things has changed. Remember, Zac is only talking about the technical, and many of you have that, inquisitive to really know about the technicality, how to go in, and that's more like day-to-day kind of move. But the overall, like you're starting from the ground, like let's say you are at the base of a mountain. You want to go up to the mountain. That's where the overall economics, that's where I come in to help you with it, to tell you the path, the weather, this. And then Zac is more on the technique, how to climb that mountain, assuming you want to go to the top as a destination for your financial goal. Do I say this makes sense or not? If I say this makes sense, give me a thumbs up. Because we want to work as a team to guide you, myself, Zac, and also Arif. Zac and Arif is more like the instructor that is taking this group of people climbing the mountain to Mount Everest. I'm more like the base camp, the strategic. I say, hey, the weather is good, go. Weather is bad, don't go. Take another path. So you see where I'm coming from. So that is how we Trade SA wanted to work to connect, and we support you through our programs. Okay. Now, those of you who are interested in our program, we have a masterclass coming again. It will be in October. So for the benefit of those who have come, we also tell them to re-attend back. And some of you who are first time coming in, I just want to talk a bit about our masterclass. It's just a very short advertisement on our site. But again, going back to our summary in here before we go to that, the 5G is coming. Okay, it is coming. It's already here. Like some of you said, Singtel and StarHub are testing it. But now we're talking about 6G. Okay, so so what we want to do is really stay in line with and move your capital. Some of you already agreed the rotational play, able to rotate out and stay away from stagnant counter, avoid the sunset industry. Point number 2 is that the KLCI is in stage 3 distribution, which I agree with you, but the S&P 500 is accumulating now. So right now, Zac already shared you like Grantech, K1, some of those technology is already moving and staying away from the rubber curve. And through that, understanding the technical and let us be, so be ready with your 5G tech watch list. I'm giving you a list, and Zac have those in our watch list. So those of you who really want to subscribe to our package and get our tools to be right ahead, that 5G, if not that 5G tech sectors is good enough for you. And those of you who are SmartRobie, spend some time to study the chart. The SmartRobie chart that you have is the basic one. You can't draw much of a line. So those of you who are ready to upgrade, consider watching. But understanding the entry level and the target profit from SmartRobie will get you to that. And then finally, don't follow us blindly. Somebody are asking about it. Do I buy this and that? Understand your ability, your skill, and your capital too, as well as the risk tolerance. Everyone is different. You may say you want to buy technicals, going in at the pullback and things like that, or buying XOX. But all in all, you may not have the kind of tolerance when the market slammed down 30%. What would you do? So what is the kind of things that can really help you? So think along those lines in here, all right? So like it or not, the rules of engagement, as I said, in the post-COVID-19, is going to be very aggressive growth stocks, okay? Going forward, because we are moving out, with the exception of Malaysia. Malaysia is going to the stage 3 distribution. As I said, explained before, stage 1, 2, and 3. The 5G and ITO continue to come, but the Malaysian economy is expected to grow 2021 7.5%. So that's why I think even this stage 3 distribution, I welcome it. I don't think we will decline. If the market come back up again, we will see another accumulation. Of course, this will all depend on the COVID-19. So continue to follow us, all right? So make no mistake, be prepared to educate yourself. So always say that this is how we educate our people. But those of you who are really interested in our program, just type MC. Then we will just give you a little bit of detail and you find out more, and you can see Zac us. And like it or not, our volumes spread analysis trading using this methodology, something that Zac has shared with you, the NS. You can see top traders in the world like Jesse Stein made about 6,000 to 6.8 million over a period of 28 months. It took some time. And you can see some of the stocks already went up, like Zac said, finally making the first 100% returns on one of those penny stocks. And this is how these guys does it too. Erlanger makes 63% in 12 months. So this is what we do for that purpose. So my association with the father of volume spread analysis, where he taught me about the market, and he said, look, Martin, go back to your country and teach the people, just like I've taught many of them before them, one being one of them. So I'm here wanted to teach you guys, and we are eventually doing this in a masterclass. All right. Some of you may have not heard this. Those of you type 1. If you want to find out more about masterclass, just type MC. It will be focusing on the US market. So we talk about the US market and the KLSE market right now with the father of VSA. All right. So because why it's important, we are coming out from the bear market, as I said before. Once it hit 3,005, we have talked about the stages. We are into optimism, and we continue to guide. Our program that we have for you is 12 months. So you'll be under mentoring coaching with us. Okay. And the US market in here, the Biden and Trump, that is going to see a lot of this market going forward. So we say, bring it on. Okay. So the US market, just take note, those of you who are coming to re-attend back our course, there'll be a 3-day masterclass, which is on October 3rd to 5th and 7th. We have found a venue and we wanted to bring you all into one room. Of course, social distancing is one. So that'll be great to see you and really talk to you face to face. So that's going to be happening on October 3rd to 5th. And for those of you who already signed up, we thank you for your anticipation. So I'll see you on that one. So we're going to check out this place. It's going to be in Petaling Jaya, the venue is, and we'll give you more information, those of you who are coming for the Resit for our masterclass, as well as those who coming our masterclass joining in here. Okay. And like it or not, we find one of the hardest worker in here, the Keanu Reeves, which is really my idol in here. How many of you like this movie, John Wick? If you like this movie, John Wick, please type John Wick. Okay, John Wick and Neo Matrix. They are shooting Matrix 4. And what I like about him, this chap, Keanu Reeves, I've been following for many years. He's really, learning his skill to be a real martial art. Over the years, he's been a great practitioner in there, and he doesn't get to the level that what he is being the hardest actor. He does all his stunt scenes. You've seen John Wick 1. I'm a fan of John Wick 1, John Wick 2, and John Wick 3, and can't wait for John Wick 4 and also the Neo Matrix in this movie. And it's fascinating. You see how the person progress. And the same thing, many of you have those questions that you are asked. You all need to get onto some sort of a bandwagon, how to become a smarter investor. And let me give you 5 tips for towards the end there. Now, being a smart, just like a smarter like genius here, we don't want to be you a genius, but we want you to be the smarter in here. It's like how to be a smarter investor. First, know yourself first. Don't follow the hub. Don't follow the thing. What is your real objective we talk about? And have a winning system in your professional approach. Like what we done, just Arif to share with you. No doubt the traditional method is good, but this is where you really want to get adopted and get a coach, where we find that many of our method, you can see some of our Sifu have done very well. And this is why we talk about getting a real coach, just like how John Wick, over the years, he has improved the way he fights. John Wick 2 is better than John Wick 1. John Wick 3 is better than John Wick 2. Okay, so this is where the progressive is. Thanks. That's my favorite actor too. Okay. So that's it about it. So that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming in our Telegram chat room. Do join us for that one in here. And thank you for sharing. Those of you who are interested in our masterclass, just type MC and we will give you some details for that one. All right. So with that, we have all the questions, and we hope you had an enjoyable session with us, the 5G, where we talk about the technicals in there. And join me again on Monday for the SmartRobie Money Talks on Monday, the breakfast show. With that, I end you and enjoy the remaining of the weekend. Bye-bye.